Hi guys! So there's been a lot of talk about pandemic weddings and post-pandemic weddings, and obviously now nobody can have like the big fat Indian wedding. I've had a lot of my friends having conversations about whether they can, go ahead with their plans, whether they have to downsize, whether they want to postpone their weddings. And I just feel like as someone who has a small wedding, I thought I could give you guys tips and tricks on having a small wedding if any of you are looking at getting married, and also share why small weddings can be amazing. Okay, so the first thing I want to tell you guys is pay for your own wedding. Okay, there's two reasons for this. Number one is it takes the pressure off your parents, and I think as adults we should all be doing that. Wherever when I paid for our own wedding, and we were so happy that we could do everything that we wanted. That's the other thing, I feel like when you pay for your own wedding, people are more sympathetic in terms of like their expectations are less, and they let the couple actually decide things that they want to because they feel like, yeah, they're paying for it, let them do what they want to do. And also it just removes a lot of pressure from your parents, guys. I feel like at this point everybody is struggling, no matter what your parents' businesses or their savings are like. Everybody has not worked in a few months, and this could just be a nice opportunity for you to tell them that, I want to do this myself because I don't want to put you under further pressure. It feels great as well. Number two, focus on things that matter to you and personalizing things in your wedding, as opposed to just being down about this and being like, oh my God, I wanted a big wedding, I can only have a small wedding, or blah. Like making it like a negative situation. Personalize it, like focus on the things that you want to do. Like look up DIYs on Pinterest, make it really you, which is what we did at our wedding. And honestly, we were so happy with everything being minimalistic and being what we wanted, that I feel like you might realize that that's something you've always wanted, as opposed to a big fat Indian wedding. Also, I just feel like it gives you a smaller, intimate wedding, gives you the chance to personalize things a bit more for you and for your guests, because obviously the numbers are small. And that kind of really makes it special. Like we had personalized candy at our wedding. We both walked down the aisle, made an entrance. So I just feel like, with a smaller group of people, you can definitely do more things to personalize it and make it special for you and for your family. Keep the decor simple and save on the floral arrangement, guys. I mean, I feel like, Indian weddings, I know are a lot about flowers, and I feel like people overspend on like floral decorations at their weddings. Even now I'm seeing images of some pandemic weddings where it's just like 20 people and then there's just so many flowers. Like the flowers probably costed more than everything else, which I feel is unnecessary right now. As I said, everybody's gone through a tough time. If you are going to get married right now, I would recommend keeping things minimalistic, doing a more DIY Pinteresty wedding, and a tip I can give you is that lights work really well instead of flowers, like mirchi lights, lanterns. That's what we used a lot of, and used less flowers because those are much cheaper. They look pretty at night and they look like Pinteresty. And yeah, right now I feel like just like keep it classy, keep it minimalistic, keep it simple, and save your money. Okay, a lot of you ladies are not going to like this next one, but it's very important. Drop the whole trousseau. I know a lot of Indian women love this whole sari shopping angle and buying like certain number of suits, certain number of saris, certain number of whatever's for the like shadi, which I think normally also is something I never understood. I didn't do it for my wedding. In my sari collection video you saw, if you haven't seen it, I'll link it here. Vaibhav Ritchie gave me 2 saris, I think, and that was also without telling me, because I kept insisting I don't want anything, and he was like, his family were like, we have to give you something. So I think they brought this to our engagement without like telling me. It was like a surprise. So a lot of things will change in your life. Your taste will change, your size might change, and I just feel like it's nicer to buy things like every few years than to buy everything at one go and then have to wear it for the next 30 years. That's not me. I don't like that. I like to shop like whenever I need stuff. So I would recommend ditching that whole trousseau angle. The other thing I will tell you is for your wedding outfit now, every designer is going on sale because obviously they've also suffered heavy losses with the lockdown. And I feel like now is the best time to buy your wedding outfit, even if it's in 6 months, 8 months. So check out your favorite designers and get what you want now. Wedding announcements are actually a great way to kind of reduce the number of people at your wedding. So we already knew we were going to have a small wedding. Like we had, I think, less than 150 people at our wedding. And obviously, like our parents had friends, we had like work colleagues, friends who we've known, and we wanted to send something, but like we didn't want to call them and make it like a big fat wedding. So we sent people a box of the candy with a card saying thank you for your blessings, we got married, hope you enjoyed the sweets, blah blah blah. And I think that is a really good thing to do even now, because obviously you can't call more than a certain number of people to your wedding. Like now it's going to be even smaller, like 20 people, 50 people. And the best thing is to do is to like send out these sweets or mithai or something to people and kind of, you know, make them feel included in your wedding without offending them. And that way you can like get the list smaller, 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 smaller. Speaking of making the list smaller, okay, guest listing is probably the hardest thing in a small wedding. How we did it was we kind of decided our top like limit, like outer limit was 150, and then we kind of divided the guest listing. Ours was primarily like first was family, like immediate family, then was really close friends. And then we decided how much do we have left. So for example, if we had already reached a number of 100 people with our close friends and family, then we divided the balance 50 between our parents and siblings, saying you guys can do like 10 friends each above, you know, like the 100 that are coming, like the friends, like the actual close friends and family. And yes, it's definitely a struggle. It's not easy because people all want to call their friends or all want to call like their family. Like if your siblings are married, they will have like their in-laws and their family. All of that happens in India, obviously, and everybody thinks they should be invited or their people should be invited. But at the end of the day, it's your wedding. And as I said, if you don't want to offend someone, send them the Mithai Ka Dabba, the announcement. And that's what we did. So we also made our extra close family members, like siblings, parents, everybody make an additional list for their people who they couldn't invite and sent them the box as well. Problem solved. Now this one is a new one. I've seen a lot of content creators live stream their weddings or you know, post a lot of content from their weddings, but now I think it's become the new normal where everybody's going to have to either live stream their wedding or Zoom their wedding, which is great because actually if your guest list is 50 people, you could actually have over 100 people on a Zoom call, and that could be pretty cool, where you just send everybody the link and just put a phone on the side saying come watch our wedding, join our wedding. And I've heard of a lot of my friends attending Zoom weddings. I haven't yet, but I think it's a really cool concept to include more people right now since you can't have them with you. So you could obviously do like a packaged wedding video that's produced and send it to everyone later, but I feel like the whole fun of like the Zoom call or a live broadcast is that those people feel included, like they're actually there and they're actually watching the wedding, like, and being a part of it. So I think that's a really cool concept which you can add to a pandemic or post-pandemic wedding. The next thing we're going to talk about is the honeymoon. Postpone the honeymoon. Okay, you do not want to travel right now, and I don't think it matters when you go on your honeymoon. Like I think Weber and I went on our honeymoon over 6 to 8 months after our wedding. We hadn't even planned our honeymoon when we got married because we were so flustered planning and paying for our own wedding that we were like, okay, the honeymoon can wait. And I feel like that's really important. Like go after a year, go after 2 years, but just plan it, do it aram se. When all this is over, we have a vaccine, you're safe, you can have fun, you're not masked and kissing your spouse with a mask. And yeah, it's just, that's not a honeymoon, guys. You want a honeymoon, a mask-free honeymoon. So postpone the honeymoon, go later. It's not a big deal. Like it's just about two people spending time together to celebrate their marriage, and I think that can be done even a year later. And just do it when you have the best like time. But I will say this, that you can always book, like right now everything is open to like an annual booking and the rates are slashed again because everybody's like been facing losses. So maybe pick your destination and kind of book like open tickets, or like you know, book your hotel stay if you know that there's this resort that you really love, and like tell them that you want it open because you're not really going to come this year or whatever, like keep it flexible. So yeah, maybe book, but don't go right now. Then we have guest safety. Okay, before that, can we just take a minute to appreciate my hair today, guys? I'm having a good hair day. I'm loving this hairstyle, and I also DIY'd this beautiful butterfly bobby pin. Okay, focus, Sherry, get back to the video. Okay, back to the video. We were talking about guest safety. So normally when you have a wedding, you have people come in from out of town. Like we had about 20-30 people, a lot of Webber's relatives from Delhi who came in for our wedding. A lot of the times your siblings, your grandparents, like really close people also live in a different like city or town. And you might want them to be a part of your intimate 20 or intimate 50 at your wedding. Now, if you do have that kind of a situation right now, you have to keep in mind the 2-week quarantine window. You've got to keep in mind the travel situation for them, like whether it's worth them traveling if they're senior citizens. Also the safety at your wedding for your guests, like masks, sanitizers, the social distancing norms, if it's right now. If it's in a few months, of course, things will change. But there are all these things that you have to factor in. And I know, guys, a lot of the times it seems like, oh my God, it's my wedding. How can I have my wedding without my grandparents? Or how can I do this? But sometimes their safety is more important than your wedding. It's just a day. The marriage is meant to last a lifetime. The wedding is just a day. Don't give it so much importance. Think about your closest friends and family and think about how you want to keep them safe. So yeah, if they're willing to travel, make sure you have like the whole quarantine period, all of that down. If you don't, then just call everyone on a Zoom call. Okay, the last thing I want to tell you guys is the most important. Focus on the positive. Do not become a victim of your own wedding, and do not become like, oh my God, I had planned this, I wanted like 6 changes, I wanted a Mehndi, Sangeet and this and that and that, and I don't want to get married now. I'm going to get married after whatever 3 years because that's how long we're going to be doing this for, whatever. Like, guys, when you want to marry someone, you want to marry someone for whatever your reasons are. A lot of the times in this lockdown, I feel like a lot of couples have realized that they haven't been able to spend time with each other because their families don't let them live in together or stay with each other. And it's really hard to kind of date someone right now. Like, trust me, I've been living apart from my husband for 3 months, and it's like the date we go on is walking Mars. That's our date. If you don't want to be in each other's houses or whatever because of social distancing. So yeah, if you're a young couple, I get it. Like for a lot of people, it's going to be really difficult in the coming months. Restaurants are going to be closed. Where are you going to go on a date? Like you're going to be like, what do I do? Like, so I feel like a lot of people feel like getting married and living together is the answer, and that's how you can spend time together. Fair enough. If you think that's what you want to do, then just get married and don't think about all these other things that, oh, what would have been, could I have had a bigger wedding? Like, because that's just going to bring you down. Just decide in your head that you want a small wedding and you love this person and you want to marry them for whatever your reasons are. And that's all that matters. And make the most of it, guys. Like, I feel like a pandemic wedding could be really romantic. Like, imagine telling your grandkids that, oh, we got married during a pandemic. There were only like 20 people at our wedding and we broadcasted our wedding to our friends and family. And I think it's a really great story. It's really romantic that I feel that people really want to get married right now and they want to go for it. And even if it's like, if your wedding is scheduled for later in the year and you have to downsize it, don't look at it as a negative, guys. Just look at it as a positive. Like, having a small wedding is amazing. You can dance the night away. Everybody in that circle at the wedding, you will know them. There won't be like randos at your wedding that you don't know and be like, oh, this is my chacha's daughter's friend who you've never met, or like my dad's work person's wife who you've never met again. So yeah, none of these random people will be at your wedding. It'll be really close, it'll be really intimate, and it'll be amazing. So guys, if any of you have your weddings scheduled and you're struggling with them, I hope this video helps you. Or if you're thinking of taking the plunge and you suddenly watch this video and decide to, please DM me and I will probably come on a Zoom call to your wedding. Just saying, guys, just have fun with it. Weddings are meant to be about romance. They're meant to be about two people coming together. They're meant to be about celebrating and being happy. They're not meant to be about being sad and being like, oh, I'm stuck in a pandemic and now my wedding is ruined and blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the energy you want at your wedding. You want to be happy, you want to be content, and you want to be in love. So guys, if the video helped you, give it a thumbs up. Also comment below if you guys have any tips for people, if you've had a small wedding, or if you guys have any more small wedding questions, leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. See you guys. Bye. Mwah.